Good evening, everyone. Hello and welcome to Startup Job in Apex Masterclass series, where we bring masters from different fields to share their insights with you. I am Umar Shankar, co-founder of Startup Job in, which is a dedicated job portal for startups and MSME. Today, we are going to discuss on a very important topic, which is about that what kind of competencies are required to become a startup founder. Also, we will briefly discuss about the Indian Oil Startup Scheme. This masterclass series is a weekly learning platform to provide specific tips to startup founders, recruiters, and job seekers. Apex is all about sharing the topics for the benefits of these stakeholders. As we have discussed that today we are going to cover the specific competencies, personality traits or skill set which are very important when if you are a new entrepreneur and you are thinking that what kind of skills I need to develop to become a successful entrepreneur, then today we will give you few of the hints that these are the areas where you can work upon. To discuss and highlight these important aspects, we have got Mr. Shailesh Tiwari, who is Chief General Manager with Indian Oil Corporation. Indian Oil Corporation is his first job, and he has got over 25 years of experience. Out of this, 8 years experience in corporate HR, in design, assessment and development of leadership competency. Presently, he is in a business leadership role. As far as his education goes, he is a mechanical engineer, MTech from IIT Kanpur. He has done 4 months management education program from IIM Ahmedabad, and he has also done MBA from IIM Lucknow. He is he has been well recognized by the industry. He has got Excellence in Practice Award from Association of Talent Development USA in year 2015. He which was received by him at Florida during Global HRD. He also has got an award from IFTD, which was received in Dubai for the Best Paper Award. He has been well regarded in the HR industry as well as now he is into general management leadership position as well. So let's move on and try to understand that what are the competencies which are required for startup founders, and then we will be knowing about the Indian Oil Startup Scheme. Mr. Shailesh Tiwari, over to you, sir.
Thank you, Uma, for this wonderful introduction, and hope I'm audible loud and clear.
Yes, sir.
Good evening, friends. I'm really glad to be here today, as well as excited to be amongst this startup community comprising of the founders, the startup job seekers, who can at some point of time aspire to become a startup founder as well, and the entire ecosystem around this startup. And why I am so glad, basically, I find this group very energetic, and specifically for 3 reasons. So first is, this is the group which displays tremendous amount of courage in doing whatever they are doing. So why they are different, and why we personally could never dare to dream to be in that space, is it requires tremendous amount of courage to start something on your own, because then you become the master of everything and servant of everything as well. So whatever you do is entirely on you. So first is courage. The second part is the contribution. So if you say before 90s, there were few big companies in USA, and moving today, they say almost 9 top tech companies in USA, which were barely existent or non-existent 20 years back, they command the major share of GDP of the country. So startup ecosystem is what contributes to the GDP of the country. So that is second. And thirdly, I would say what personally we can learn from this group is the type of commitment you need to really excel in this space. So courage, commitment, and contribution. So we start with that. So this was just the opening thing. I know the startup community, if I can say so, they are unconventional. So really, we would not keep this very, very conventional. We'll add in some fun factor as we move along. And in fact, we will experience the entire, gamut of things which Uma, whom I fondly call as USA had introduced, the entire gamut of competencies, and we'll not keep it too jargonistic. We'll keep it as simple as we can. So done. I think it's a done deal with all. Now, before we really begin, some of you would be wondering that what this gentleman from one of the oil companies would be speaking on startups, that too on the competencies which are required. So the point is, what is competency? So we have been doing certain research in terms of what all competencies are required from people who are basically who work for any organization. So there is something called intrapreneurial skills, which means how an entrepreneur can work within a company, and all those skills which I am going to talk about today applies to this particular group also. So we have done some work on this competency space, and certainly whatever I am going to present today is based on some research, both secondary as well as primary, but we'll not go into the conceptual part. We will come out with the results. So we'll talk about the result only. So I'll just, before I move, I would just share my screen with all of you, and if it is good. Is it fine, Uma?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good
Perfect.
to go. Okay.
Perfect.
So, what all competencies or attributes or traits, or loosely we say leadership skills, are required for both startup founders, and most of that is applicable to the employees who work for startups as well. Because unless the people working in startups have those skills, only the founders having those competencies would not work. So before we actually move to competencies, I would like to tell you few startup facts which all of you already know, but it would be a good refresher. And as we move along towards the end, I'll give you a model which again all of you know. So nothing new I am going to talk about, but I am going to put that in a perspective and ask you whether as a startup founder or as a member of the startup community, do you have all these traits in you? If yes, fine. Further nurture them, hone them, nourish them. If you really think that I need to develop some of the traits, believe me, These traits are not something which you are born with. These are the traits which you develop consciously, requires a lot of hard work, and certainly it helps if you, apart from nurturing your startup, you also nurture your traits so as to go the long distance. So some startup facts, friends, which you already know. What is the average age for startup founders? And this is a global study. So if you can see, it's 40. So it's not 20 or 25, which some of us would have thought. So if the average age is 40, some of the startup founders would be 20 or 25 years old, and some would be maybe 50 or 55 as well. So as to keep this average at 40. Now, second interesting as well as disturbing fact, I would say, is 50% of founding startup CEOs, they were removed from the company by third round of funding. So what does that mean? You can start up well, and that's why it's called a startup. But when the company grows, what all different competencies you should have, or your people should have by that point of time to make it a going concern, a growing concern as well as a going concern. So merely having a startup and making a 100-meter sprint would not help. You may have to stretch that sprint to 200 meters or 400 meters, and you should be ready to actually run the marathon. So this fact becomes important when we talk about these competencies which a startup founder should have. Now, the third fact which I found hard to believe is 3 new startups are launched every second. And it's amazing, surprising. That means 180 per minute and around 11,000 in an hour. So you can see the race we are in. So we have to be the best to actually win the race. Another fact, 80% of startup founders do not care much about splitting their equity. What does that mean? So I've spent considerable time in studying these competencies. What it means is people are so much obsessed with their idea or their product, they never think about profit. And for a small funding, sometimes they part away with 10% or 20% or even 30% of the equity. And 80% of them do not care much before taking this decision. So, startling fact, India's position in tech startup in the world is third. Another fact, 70% of founders incubated their business ideas while working at a traditional job. 70%. Note this figure. So that means only 30% of the founders are fresh from college and they start up before joining a company. 70% of them would have worked in traditional job, which means that traditional job also is not that bad in terms of developing your skills, because they are the ones who have motivated you or made you learn the tricks of the trade before you ventured into your own startup. So 70% for that. And lastly, I didn't want to talk about this business failure, but while we are talking about competencies, it makes a lot of sense to understand what succeeds and what fails. So 80% of businesses fail because of cash flow problem, wherein we are spending all the time in improving our product. So with these facts, any guess, I'll pause for a couple of seconds. What is the first primary reason for a startup to fail? Though 80% fail on cash flow problem, but that's not the primary reason. That's the second most prominent reason. So the number one reason why startup fail is simple. They offer a product or service that people don't want. Some of the startups are ahead of the times. Some of them offer a product which people really don't require, or maybe people are not convinced that they need that. So seems pretty obvious. But the moral of the story here is, if you get your next killer idea friends, you should ask your friends, the people around you, if they really would buy this. And of course, don't just ask your mom that, Mom, I'm going to start this new idea. Whether it will work, she'll always think you are smart, so it's going to work. So try to get market survey done, a real in-depth survey before you launch your own startup idea. So this, friends, was the background around what we are going to discuss today. In fact, with this background, I would say the top 20 reasons when people say why startup fail, don't take it too seriously. Because if I have to quote Drew Houston, who's the co-founder and CEO of Dropbox, he said, my dear friends, don't worry about failure, because you only have to be right once. So you may fail 100 times, but if you are right once, you hit that nail on the head, you are there. Of course, as I said previously, be sure that what you are offering is the one people need. So no market need is the top reason for failure. And running out of cash is the second prominent reason. And we'll only take top three. Not the right team is the third reason. So startups are all bright, brilliant, young or not so young guys. They are working wonders. But somewhere they have forgotten to build the right team which can really make them run that marathon which I was talking about. So these are some of the other reasons, but let's get the game going. So dear startup founder, the prospective founders, or the people who are working for startups, when you start, what do you need? We can pause for a few seconds, and I am giving this opportunity to you to think what all attributes or qualities you need when you start to make your venture successful. And believe me, it's not a hypothetical list of qualities or traits which you require. It is well researched traits. So just give a thought for next 5 seconds, what all qualities you need as a startup founder. And we'll resume in 5 seconds. So here you are. And all of you have a lot of self-belief, else you would not have started in the first place. So you need self-belief to succeed. You need to have, you need to be an innovative thinker. You should be ready to take risks, build scenarios. When I say build scenarios, don't just jump on the well. Though I said you should be ready to take the risk, but that doesn't mean you should jump inside the well without building scenarios. That if I invest in this, what would be the returns? What would be my action plan? What would be my plan A, plan B? So you should be good at building scenarios. So this is one of the qualities. A startup guy should be willing to embrace ambiguity. So when I say ambiguity, they should not be giving excuses or reasons why this didn't work, because the market was like this, the conditions were not, according to what we thought. They should work within this ambiguous working environment. So they should be ready to embrace ambiguity and be persistent. So you can't really start today and say it's not working tomorrow, so I start something else. Then again, after a few months, you say, no, it's not working. Be persistent. You have to be persistent to succeed. And not only persistent, you have to learn on the fly, learn on the go. So keep learning. A startup founder can least afford to be outdated. They have to be ahead of the times. Being outdated is not an option at all. They can't be even in the present. They have to be ahead of time. They have to be future ready. So one quality which I have to again emphasize, they have to learn on the go. Keep learning, keep updating themselves, and trust your people. So as I mentioned a while back, you can sprint 100-meter on your own, but you can't win a relay race all by yourself. So you need a team to do that. If you are in the game of football, all 11 players matter to you. So you trust your people. When you pass that ball to your colleague, you trust him. So trust your people. These are the traits. And last two ones are customer and cash. So any guess? Customer is ... question mark. Cash is ... question mark. What should be filled in those blanks? Pause for 2-3 minutes, 2-3 seconds, sorry. And then we move forward.
Maybe king.
Maybe king, yes. So customer is king is what we read. And cash is?
Cash maybe queen then.
Maybe queen, yes. Well said. I really like the answer. And I'll show you the answer. Let people who are going through this live ponder for 2 seconds before I really So here we go, Uma. So this is the new concept. I always read customer is king. And it says customer is queen. Pamper her. Take care of her needs. Ask her what she wants and deliver what she actually wants. So fine with that, Uma? And cash is king.
Yes. No
Honor
doubt.
him. Respect him. Don't just burn your cash.
Yes.
We hear a lot about, people, startup having, third round of funding and they are rich. But the successful ones, they never dishonor that cash. So customer is queen, cash is king. Remember my words. And towards the later part of this, conversation with you, I'll tell you a story of Professor Ramcharan. He's a great guy. I'll spend a couple of minutes telling you about him. And therein we'll discuss, hold these thoughts for a while. We'll discuss about cash when we come to Professor Ramcharan. So, friends, these are not competencies. Having self-belief is not a competency. Having, embracing ambiguity is not a competency. So, if you want these traits, what all competencies you need to nurture, both within yourself and also amongst your team. We will come to that. And as I promised you, I'll not go much into the theoretical aspect about competencies. I am just presenting you the results of this research. And just to give you a mention, there are around 200 competencies which are there. And you really can't go and develop all of them. So the purpose of my presentation is to tell you which 10 are the most important. So these 10 are the traits which you need. And if I look at these traits, what really competencies that go along with these traits? So last couple of slides, we are closing on this. High self-belief means you need confidence. So as a startup founder, never be lack of confidence. Never doubt yourself. Once you have done all the survey and you are really sure about your idea, have the confidence to put that in place. But don't be too rigid with your ideas. Be an innovative thinker. So what you need is creativity. Think laterally. Always think laterally. Always think at the options. So never doubt your ideas, but always challenge your ideas, is the point I am making. Thirdly, be risk ready. When I said risk, I also mentioned that don't jump inside the well. So take calculated risk. But of course, there should not be any fear of failure. That's a very important attribute of a startup founder, which probably is not required in high measure in a traditional job. But for a startup, calculated risk is very, very critical. Fourthly, I already explained build scenarios. So when you build scenario, you have to be change ready actually. So when you evaluate your scenario, you should be ready to change. This is the scenarios which you get. So be unconventional. Embrace ambiguity, we already talked about. So therein you need to cut through complexity in this VUCA world. ये VUCA world क्या है? Volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous. So you should never be blaming yourself for the external environment. The world is already complex. It's a VUCA world. So once, if you have to succeed, you have to cut through this complexity and bring clarity. So that is one competency you need to develop. Sixth is be persistent. That means commitment. Stay commitment to the cause. Stay committed to the cause. Seventh, learning on the go. So continuous learning is the competency. Stay updated. Spend at least 1 hour of your time every day to learn something new. Because staying updated is not an option, it's a compulsion for the startup founders. Trust your team, which means camaraderie. Have belief in your team. Take your team along, and the team can, do wonders for you. In fact, one CEO of Procter and Gamble once said, "You take away all my money, all my machines, all my materials, but give my people. I'll create another Procter and Gamble." So that's the importance of building the team. And when we say customer is queen, pamper her, you exist for her, or you exist for him if the customer is him. So develop this customer leadership within yourself. Be ahead of customer. In advance, get to know what they really need. Before your competitor gets to know, you should be knowing it. And lastly, cash being the king. Don't leave cash management only to your CFO or accounting people. Managing cash is the prime job, last but not the least, of a startup founder. So these 10 competencies, friends, are 10 C's which you should remember. In fact, I would suggest keep them pasted on your wall and continuously evaluate yourself in terms of what I need to nurture, what I need to develop. You should, in fact, consciously develop these skills if we have to really run the marathon and be there, and not be amongst those 50% of the founders who run the race well at the beginning, but they are no longer required in the company when the company grows big. So make yourself a growing and a going concern. Professor Ramcharan, a very humble guy, today coaches or mentors some of the top CEOs of the world, be it GE, be it Google, be it Apple, be it Amazon. Everybody talks to him. This humble gentleman I met some time back, and he was sharing the story which he is very fond of sharing. is ये gentleman हापुड़ से हैं. हापुड़ is a place near Delhi, in fact near गाजियाबाद. मेरठ और गाजियाबाद के बीच में है ये प्लेस. हापुड़ कहलाता है. वहां पे से ये जेंटलमैन उनका बचपना वहां बीता. His father used to own a shoe shop at Hapur, and Professor Ramcharan used to, sit with him in that shoe shop. And he was mentioning that my father used to count the cash. I told you, keep your thought about the cash. Hold your thoughts, we'll come back. So, this is what he mentioned. He used to count कि गल्ले में कितना पैसा आया उस पर्टिकुलर दिन में और कितना पैसा गल्ले में से गया और मेरा कैश बैलेंस आज क्या है. And I was surprised that I mentioned this to he mentioned this to CEO of Amazon, also saying that this is one quality. वो चाहे शू शॉप हो या one of the largest conglomerate like Amazon हो, this is one competency which you need to have in terms of गल्ले में कितना पैसा आया और गल्ले में कितना पैसा गया. How much money has come to your cash box on that given day and how much money has gone out of this cash box, one should be knowing, not only for today, for the next 6 months. So while Ramcharan ji said focus on customers, employees and cash flow, my appeal through this original model is remember these 10 C's and set your own priority. So I don't say confidence is first and creativity is second and customer is 9. Keep all these 10 C's side by side, evaluate yourself against all these C's and see which one you need to hone, because all these 10 C's are required for a long term, building a long term company and not merely a startup but a conglomerate. Unless you are committed to your cause, even the company which is doing well today may not do well in the future. So all these 10 C's are important. So remember 10 C's and set your own priorities. My closing statement for this, friends. In fact, thanks a lot, and it was wonderful sharing my thoughts, my experiences, my research with all of you. Thank you very much. That's end of part 1 of my presentation. Over to you, Uma.
Thanks a lot, sir. This was a lovely conversation, not just conversation, it's for, lovely information which you have shared, that 10 C's. And although I have also done MBA, but these type of information were never told to us, never taught to us. This is very important for a person like me who is trying to become an entrepreneur, successful one. And yes, there are some traits where I also required to work upon. So I have got couple of queries. I was attending this session, and then there are few things which I would like to get clarification upon. The first is about the being persistent. You talked about that this is one of the trait which is required. On the other hand, the number one reason for startup failure is not able to find out good product mix. Now, where is the balance? Where is the time when the startup founder need to get this message sink in, that now no more persist with same product, same idea. Now it's time to move on, or maybe try something else. So there is a confusion which comes in the mind of one individual, that how to decide that now time is over or now we need to continue.
Excellent point, Uma. In fact, when we talked about persistence, just to digress a little bit, And why I'm speaking today is because of your persistence. So we have been discussing this for long. So persistence never fails, will never fail you, right? But that was in the lighter vein. Hmm. So that applies specifically to startup. When I said that in a traditional job, it may not be that much essential, both risk taking as well as perseverance. But I'm not saying it's not required, it's very much required. But for startup founder, when you said there is a dichotomy between being persistent with your idea, vis-a-vis get to know whether that idea is useful in the market or not, right? That is your point, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So that's why I said before a founder starts, don't just ask your mom or your family or your friends whether this is a great idea. They would always have this bias towards you. So even if you ask me, I would say it's a wonderful idea, please go ahead, because I have that bias with you. Test that, have a test pilot product before going full steam. Test with few customers in terms of having the surveys done, having some FGDs, focus group discussions. So it's good to believe in your idea, no doubt. It's excellent to believe, but ask the customers, because you are in the market for him or her. They may tell you wonderful things. So that would bring you, apart from that perseverance, to the next quality, which is be change ready. So be change ready in terms of improving your product. But once you are sure about it, and you have to be sure about it, you can't be, as I said in the beginning, you start a product or a service and say after a month that no, it's not working, I am moving to another one. Once you are sure about it, then you have to be persistent with the idea. And don't be rigid. Though you have to be perseverance with the idea, don't be too rigid with your thoughts. Keep some room open for that flexibility. So that's wherein this competency of change comes in. So one should be ready to actually embrace change or lead change also. In fact, I would give you another point. All these education, related startup, they were not really knowing that COVID is going to come in 2020, and they were planning for that. But having done their homework right, they were sure that this is going to be the new age model for learning, the online version, right? Because people today, the way we are interacting now, some of the people would be watching this at their own leisure time, maybe tomorrow. They would be working on Saturday, they may watch on Sunday. So this flexi learning model is the future. So that's why with this COVID helping them, all these online educational startup, they are doing good today. They're doing wonders. So when they really started, they had put in the best foot forward, and they had really done the market survey in terms of. So that's why also that brings me to another competency, which is continuous learning. So a startup founder has to be ahead of the time. So today you should be thinking what would work in 2021 when the COVID goes off. So that's the way it has to be. But once you believe in your idea, once you have put that in the market, you have to believe in that. And small hiccups or small problems would come, but that should not shake you away from your self-belief, is what is required.
Very well said.
Thank you.
There is this saying, I mean, you have also shared that cash is king. Now, 80% business fail because of cash flow, which is also you have mentioned. The solution, I mean, one of the solutions to this problem, people say, is that the founder or the founding team should have at least 3 years of cash reserve with them. Or in Gujarati, I mean, in Gujarat, there is one saying that 999 days, 999 days
Sure.
cash should be with the founders. So, do you also agree with this, and how to manage this? If yes,
Yes. So 999 is a very good number, huh? And it's a luxury. It's a luxury if you have 999 days of cash. Hmm? Because as Professor Ramcharan himself said, this 3 years is a long term in today's times. So probably this it's my take on it. I may be wrong. Probably in older times, maybe 20 years back. Nowadays, 10 years is a new generation, right? So 20 years back, we used to say 2 to 3 years is short term, hmm, and maybe 5 to 6 years is medium term, and more than 10 years is long term. Is the thought. Now, the latest research and lot of readings which I have done says that 10 years hence you do not know. Even 3 years is long term. So short term has reduced to 6 months. So short terms means 6 months, medium term is 1 to 2 years, and anything above 3 years is long term. So, quoting again from Professor Ramcharan, at least 6 months of cash you should be having in hand. If not 999 days, 6 months is 180 days. So, you should be seeing that my cash flow on day to day basis would be like this for the next 180 days. And remember this point again, which I also remember, कैश बॉक्स में कितना पैसा गया और कितना पैसा उससे निकला. So that is the mantra which I got, and I am sharing with the group today.
yes, thanks.
So
a lot.
180 days, yes.
So you talked about the generations aspect as well. Now the perception is that the startups are for young generation. They are more agile. They are ahead of the learning curve. They can anticipate the new technology. There are so many tech startups in India. On the contrary, the fun fact you have shared is 40 is the average age for startup founder. Now, my question to you is that why not young people, more and more young people are coming into entrepreneurship? Is it the society, the education model which we have, or it is just that in India we are facing that after 15-20 years of experience there is a career burnout, and then people tend to feel that yes, now I should do something of my own, and then they experiment with something, although they are not born something born sort of stuff for entrepreneurship, but they end up doing something into entrepreneurship. So what are your thoughts on this? 40 is the average age for startups, why not younger?
Absolutely. It's both a great question as well as a difficult one to answer, certainly, but I'll try. I'll try to my best of my ability. So, very interesting fact. When I was sharing with my wife about 40 being the average age for startup founders, even she was surprised, because we always thought that people start young, right? Mostly the startup founders. So then what we did, we linked it to another statistic founders got their ideas incubated when they were in a traditional job, right? So, like Mr. Narayan Murthy working in Patni computers, and then setting up Infosys. So that was then. Even now it happens. So they get their ideas then, but 30%, if you remove 70%, do a job and then come to startup. So the remaining 30%, which is a big number, they start fresh, straight from the college. They are the ones who are, the early startup, the go-getter type, for full of bright ideas, and really AI and ML ready, as we say today. Right. So this 70% also is a big number. When we talk about 3 startups every second, so out of 3, 1 is coming straight from the college, and the remaining 2 come after having burnt their midnight oil working for somebody else, and then realizing why not me. And the second part being, when they are in the industry, when they are working for the industry, a sales guy or maybe a finance guy or even an operations guy, he sees certain customer gap, customer need remaining unfulfilled, he or she, right? Working in the field. So they get their ideas from there, most of them. And I would say, and these youngsters somehow will not agree with me, some of the youngsters, doesn't mean I am not a youngster, but people younger to me, they would say AI and ML is the next big thing, but these are the tools. These are not the ideas, right? These are the tools to fulfill your ideas, right? These are the technology. But what customer need is the key, the key to your success. So suppose online learning being the next big thing was a need which was identified, and what should be made online was again the in-depth analysis of customer need. So what is required to be taught online and how to be taught online, therein AI and ML would come. So it's a thin line, but you said rightly, this 30%, these are the real competitors who come straight from the college full of ideas and raring to go. And they have actually taken the plunge. They would have left, they would have not gone for a traditional job. So they have really taken the risk. So for them, the opportunity cost is even more. Like we used to, discuss some time back, that person would have done a job instead of starting their own. So their notional salary should also be built in the P&L statement for the startup, which is the opportunity cost which they are giving, right? So that's how you manage cash. Even single bit of penny which is going into your business or going out of your business, at least be aware of that. And I am not meaning कि be a कंजूस when I say manage cash prudently, ठीक है? क्योंकि भाई ये जमाना तो ब्रांडिंग का है, ठीक है? And branding is communication. And in fact, just to digress, when I presented this model, somebody had asked where is communication in these competencies. So when I say it is there everywhere, in all the factors. So if you are confident, confidence is one of the competency. Communication is part of that. When I say build a team, camaraderie. How do you build a team? Your internal communication is part of that. So communication is a very, very, very important aspect. So one has to learn to communicate. Startup may have a great idea, but whether that idea is rightly communicated to the customer is what branding is all about, right? So don't be a कंजूस. Invest or spend judiciously, but be aware of the fact. अभी भी Warren Buffett को if you read, and some of you would be reading Warren Buffett, the multi-millionaire guy, very old, but still he behaves like a youngster, right? He is setting up new businesses even now, and he is the one who जिसने एक बार एक बुक में लिखा था to share with all कि मैं अभी भी अपना जूता रिपेयर कराता हूँ. So he look for a mochi and he look for a shop जहाँ जूता रिपेयर होता है, and he said नहीं, my shoes are so fine, why I'll buy a new one, it will cost me so much. So there are crazy people, but we should keep our eyes and open to learn from all these crazy people. But interesting question, I would say. So the fight is between those 20-25 versus those 40-45 and 50. All are in the same space, right? It's an interesting space, I would say.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, sir. You have given such a wonderful insights about how these startup founders can develop the competencies, traits to become successful.